Stand by, stand by.
All the life she has seen, oh, the meaner side of me. They took away the prophet's dream for a prophet on the street. Now she's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. All his life he's been told he'll be nothing when he's old. All the kicks and all the blows, he won't ever let it show. Cause he's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns to fly. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. That's how a superhero learns to fly. All the hurt, all the lies, all the tears that they cry. When the moment is just right, you see fire in their eyes. Cause he's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns to fly. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. That's how a superhero learns to fly.
All right, all right. I think that was a good one right there. Where'd it go? You've been working every day and night, right? And that's kind of what this is leading to Freedom Friday. And my message I sent out today is, have you been working every day and every night? And can you get away from it, right? We want to teach that there's a better way. You know, a lot of people will tell me that, you know, you can't just not have a job. Well, I've not had a job for several years now. Christy's not had a job for several years now. Christy didn't work for a lot of our marriage. We've been together 30 years, 31 years almost, and didn't work for most of that. She had a home business most of that time, either through doing cakery or through personal gifts or through affiliate marketing, something like that through almost the whole time. Now, there's been a few times where we've fallen out of that scenario and she had to go get a job because we were a little short on money, and she did what she had to do, right? But and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't get a job. If you need a job, get a job, right? And I'm not saying jobs are not important. I do think that the world needs jobs. But just like not everyone should have a business, not everyone should have a job either. You know, there are better ways. And, you know, somebody started those jobs, right? If somebody didn't start those jobs, you wouldn't have a job. Somebody had the vision. Uh-oh, my phone's blabbing at me. Who's calling me? Don't worry about that. Okay. I did have a new order this morning, so I want to make sure that, you know, if they get a hold of me, I called and didn't get a hold of them. So I got to keep an eye out to see if I can get a hold of them. And so anyways, where was I? Jobs. So we'll stop there for now. And we'll go into, I like to always talk about the page that you are on right now. And somehow my live page, here it is. My live page, I like to get up here so I can see if there's anybody making comments on the YouTube. I have 4 monitors. I usually like to say that. I haven't said that in a little while, but I have 4 monitors, so I tend to look at a lot of stuff because I have YouTube live up here. I have our page live up here also, and I have what I do usually down here, and then I have Zoom here. So I look around a lot. I know the camera's there, but I don't actually look at the camera a whole lot. See, I know it's there. But I tend what I tend to look at a lot is actually Zoom. And then it looks like I'm not looking at my Zoom people, but I am actually looking at them. I'm just not looking at them in the camera. So anyways, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the We Are Live page, the page that you could be on. And the reason that I start here is because this is the reason that we go live every day, right? And let me share, because Christy's looking at me funny, like, Jim, what are you doing? You're not sharing the screen. This page right here is the page that you should be on. You could be on. Someone may have sent you here. That's why I don't usually disclose the URL for this page, because someone could have sent you here from an email. Okay, and on this page, you'll see this is our live that's going on right this moment. If I catch up to live, you'll see that I am here live talking on this page. And then down here are a couple of buttons. I've updated the buttons today because we're going to talk about the Grow Rich Mastermind. And this is how you can get credit for people going over to the Grow Rich Mastermind. Okay, and then down here we have our comments. So if you're here and you have a question, Bill Rizlov said, hope everyone's having a great day. He said, good afternoon. And Christy already, as you can see, has made comments back to him. So that's just showing you we are live here right now at 3:07 p.m. on Freedom Friday. And then if we scroll down a little more, here's the past couple of videos we've done. And if we scroll down a little bit farther, then you can see some social proof, we like to call it, where you've seen other people get some sales inside of this business. And then scroll on down, and there's another button here to join. This button joins you into the all-in-one business, and I'll share a little bit more information about that in a minute. Some Q&A, and this is where if you are in the HBA already, you can put your token here. And I always like to change somebody's name in here and show how this works. If you put in a name, and I don't usually put a space there. Now, a name is not your token, but this shows that this updates up here. So the URL changes to the token that you put in there, right? And then that token will fill in these buttons. You see that? It says John Hootie down there on the bottom left. And so those buttons will then give John credit. Was he to use that URL and that was his token? Now that's not his token. It would be one of these long, crazy numbers like this. Because that's the way the system works. And so if we go back up here, you can see that that long, crazy number is what's in there down at the bottom left. And that's how you get credit and how you make sales if you use this page. Okay. This is not the only way to get sales in the business by any means. This is just the way that we are doing it, helping some people in the community, specifically our people, but not just our people, basically anybody that comes in and wants to follow us, goes to our group. People that join other people can also use this page as well. I really have no idea who's using it, and it doesn't matter. I'm trying to make sales for them just as well as I'm trying to make sales for myself. So that's it on that. I'll stop the share for a minute, let Christy tell you a little bit about her, and if Don wants to speak a little, he's welcome to speak a little as well. So Christy, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, John. Hi, everybody that's watching out in the world. As Jim said, my name is Christy. I am his wife, and I usually do not allow him to say we've been together for over 30 years because I'm definitely not that old. Just kidding. I keep on bringing up my birthday. I keep on bringing up my age because my birthday is coming up, and I'm super, super excited. I love my birthday. I celebrate for the whole month. It's coming up February 4th, so it's going to be a huge celebration. In any case, today is one of my favorite topics. We are going to talk about the Grow Rich Mastermind. I happen to be the harmonic engineer for the Grow Rich Mastermind, so it is one of the things that I am most passionate about. Every single morning I get
Can you pull your mic a little closer?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Weirdness.
Is it from the air conditioner?
No, I don't know what it was.
No? Okay. So can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
All right. So I one of my favorite topics is the Grow Rich Mastermind. I am the harmonic engineer, which means every single day I get to kick off the call. I get to get everything set up. I get to welcome our hosts. I get to pick out the quote of the day. So I really get to set the tone. It is the missing piece in life as far as I'm concerned. If you are in business and you are not working on your skill set and your mindset, you are never going to be successful. So the Grow Rich Mastermind is all about your mindset. And I am a firm believer that you need both in order to have a successful business. So that is what I think about the Grow Rich Mastermind. And John, would you like to introduce yourself and give us any deets about you?
Yeah, I'll disclose my age. I'm 41. And this kind of like all fell into my lap. I never really even considered affiliate marketing as a niche for me. I did like websites and I did want to learn how to make websites. And so when I found a way to do that with such ease, I was like, I'm all in no matter what, because I want a website for myself, just to say I have a website. So it doesn't even matter. And to go beyond that, once I grew a little bit of skill, I seen somebody that I knew had a need for a website. And I was like, hey, what if I did this for you? Would you pay me? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I developed a website for them, and I've developed 3 websites now. One's going to be a long work in progress, probably, because it's for a homeless shelter here in Jackson. So that's amazing in its own. And just to learn the skills and the talents that I've learned in the last 2 months has been just so much more personal growth for me. One thing I want to work on is getting less camera shy. I know you could probably see that you probably don't think I'm a camera shy at all, but I do need to work towards finding a niche in that. And I started college this month because I want to learn more about marketing, and I know I can learn a lot from you guys, but I know I can continue to learn more in the community and just keep plugging in. So.
Absolutely. There are
And
so
I've been
many
married for
ways.
10 years myself.
Oh, well, hopefully we get to meet your wife
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
Uh,
she needs to get on camera shy too.
Yeah, I know it's hard. We have been doing this for a very long time, and I promise you, I am still shy. I still get nervous. Jim, I think he could talk about anything and never be intimidated at all. But for me, I'm always the same way. Like, oh, I can't do it. But you know, you just got to keep putting yourself out there, keep growing, keep learning. And we are both so proud of you.
Thank you.
And
And
I'm
I think
so
you
happy you
guys
want to call it.
did you guys talk about multi-level marketing and stuff and like scams and all that the other day? And so like that was almost like that for me with this. Like, is it a scam? Is it not a scam? And so when I plugged in and I found that you guys HBA offers a product that I can use on a daily basis, like how could I resist that, you know? So, and I did get a couple leads, and I do need to figure out how to use that code generator because I want to start bringing people to this group, because I think this group, as it grows, would help people understand better what they're getting into and where they're at.
Sure. So Jim, you want to go over a little bit more in detail about how that code works and how he can really start using that and what he can do with it, or what anybody who's watching this that's a part of HBA, how they can use that
so
code.
we can promote it on Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, or whatever. Like,
yeah, give us a deep dive into it.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to say too, John, it's awesome. One of the things I tell a lot of people when they are a little camera shy is to show up to these things. And I see you showing up to a lot of them and coming out. And even, you know, it's a lot just to come out in like the morning masterminds with Mike and Paul, because that takes a lot of nerve, and you tend to do it on a fairly frequent basis. So
yeah.
That helps a lot. And I did that a lot too when I was first starting. And like Christy said, I don't really have any worry about it. And I don't know if some of it's that I was in the military and I was just put on the spot a lot, or what it was. Like I got called out in one of the big events, like with 3,000 people in the room. The guy next to me got called out to say something to the crowd, and he's like, "No, Jim will do it." And I was like, "Okay."
Stepping
So,
up.
so I talked in that, and talked about things that were going on, and it was like, okay, cool. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me at all. I guess if you don't worry about what you're saying too much, it doesn't matter too much. But I do think some of it might be my military background and just being put on the spot and not, what are you going to do about it?
Yep,
So
for sure.
so anyways, I will pull the page back up and I will show that.
Is it affiliatemarketingleaders.com?
/LIVE. And the reason I don't say that too often is because that pulls up my code. And I don't want anybody else to go there and be
Okay.
taken away from wherever they're sent. So
Right. And,
now,
I know where to go get my token from HBA. I don't
Okay.
know if you want to show people still.
yeah, I can. Well, I don't like to pull that up because it shows my whole back office.
Yep.
I'll try and show it in a way that it won't show my whole back office. So if you come down like I said, all the way down here to the bottom, and then put in your token down here, and let me pull up my.
So when I go down there, is that your token?
That is my token. So your token will stay in there, but
Yep.
it really doesn't matter once you get it in there. And then let me pull up my token area here and see if I can show it in a way that doesn't show everything else. I had it pulled up just before the call because I grabbed it to put in the new link.
So someone that is a part of HBA would go to affiliatemarketingleaders.com/live and scroll all the way to the bottom.
Correct.
Okay.
And what I normally say is if you're on my YouTube, the link is in the description, or if you're in my Facebook group, then I post it every day. And the reason that I say it that way is, like I told John, I don't like to give out my URL because I don't want anyone else going there and picking it up that isn't in HBA yet and getting my token, because that then takes away credit from someone else. And I don't want that to happen. So I try not to do that. I am logged into my Samcart and it doesn't show anything here, except for that my current rank in the company is 39. And then here is my affiliate token. So the way you get to this is by clicking on this button here and going to settings, and you can grab your token from right here. And that will let you pick it up that way. And then you can simply put that token down here in this block. And then that will make sure that once you click this button, this URL will refresh and it will be your link then.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what I would recommend is that you use that link like it is for Facebook, because Facebook, let me go into it two different ways. Facebook will mess it up if you use a redirect.
Okay.
Okay. But I would also recommend that you use a redirect outside of Facebook. And let me show you how I got around both ways. If you use a redirect, you log into your funnel builder, right? And you'll copy this link here, and then you go to your funnel builder, and you go into your redirects, your URL redirects.
Yeah.
And then you make a new redirect. And what I did, of course, was LIVE and pasted that down here. And that makes your redirect good. Okay. Now, if you do that, trying to get off of here because I don't want to actually do that. If you do that and you use that link in Facebook, Facebook breaks it. So what I had to do for Facebook is make a separate funnel, and it's right here, and I made it say live. And on this one, I put a timer on there. See that, John?
Mm-hmm.
And then I put that link in the timer box instead of using a redirect. And now I use this live page with the timer. So what happens is this page just shows up and automatically goes. and it doesn't get messed up by Facebook. So if you want to use it on Facebook, that's the way I recommend that you do it, or just use the link like it is, because Facebook doesn't mess it up like it is, but it does break if you use it as a redirect for whatever reason. I don't know, but that is the way it worked. Now, once you use that live, see, this way it works just fine. Oops. This way it works just fine. But if you make it into a redirect, it will actually come up and say it's broke when you click on it. So very strange thing. But so that's that. And then of course, whenever we talk about something new, like today we're talking about the Grow Rich Mastermind a little bit, I put this new button on there. When we talked about the app the other day, I put the button on there for the app. We talked about the $1 trial. I put it on there for that. I don't want to put too many options on there on a going basis, just so people don't get too confused about it. So I'll probably limit it to like 2, 3 at the most. But for the most part, I'll probably have just 2 buttons here. And
either way, once they click the button and if they ever go back to HBA, it's still going to have your token.
Exactly.
Right.
As long as they don't hit someone else's. And that's what I say. Even if they went to yours and then they clicked over to my page, they get my cookie now. Okay, because it's last cookie. So as long as they don't go to someone else's cookie, then you keep the HBA cookie if they go to the HBA site.
Got it.
If that makes sense. Okay. So that's all cleared up. Let's see if we got any questions. And then we will go into this funnel that we want to talk about a little bit today, because what I really like about the Grow Rich Mastermind funnel, and there's a couple of different ways to send people there, and the way that I've got it on the page, I don't see any new comments. Let me put this at newest. Same here, need to work on overcoming the fear of the camera. Yeah, and the best way, Bill, of course, is get on camera. It's really the only way to overcome it. You know, I guess it's sort of like how I learned how to swim, right? My dad tossed me in the lake. Look, now I can swim. They do say that that particular method of swimming is actually bad for learning how to swim well, but I can swim okay, because you tend to learn a bad style of swimming from survival swimming. But
my father was the same way. He was like, sink or swim, buddy.
Right. So anyways, get in front of the camera, start speaking, wherever you can. Like I said for you, John, if you get on the lives in the morning and you just speak up, it helps. I mean, it takes away that nervousness, especially if you get around those 40 or 50 people that are in there and you're like, hey, I'm talking in front of all these people, So I think it helps a lot. I tell a lot of people to do that. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen. And of course, if there's anything you want to add as I talk, just add it. It doesn't matter to me as we go. So I'm going to click over here to the Grow Rich Mastermind, and this is going to bring up the Grow Rich Audios page. And over here, this is kind of the way that I introduced it to people for a long time. And this is how I send it out in my emails, because you're not collecting any, you're not collecting an email. You're not getting anyone, no resistance, anything like that. So a lot of times what I send out is like Fridays, because I really like Friday's call. There's usually a really lot of information. Paul's an excellent speaker. I like a lot of the calls, but you can pretty much bet that Friday is going to be one of the best ones. And you can take stuff out of it, or even sometimes guess what's going to be talked about, just because Paul's pretty consistent. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else. I just personally like his calls a little bit better, and so I use his a little more than anybody else's. But all that being said, the cool thing about this is it's free, right? It's a free version of giving away some value. Every day's call is here. Friday's call is here for all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. So if you send out an email on Friday, say at noon, you've got that email will do work all weekend and it'll be still be talking about the same thing. So it makes it a really valid email to send out too, because people don't have to get it today. If you send out an email for, say, Wednesday's call, because it was really good, and then they don't get it by until tomorrow, this version of the replay is gone. So it makes it a little bit more challenging to do it that way. So then once they're here, they get to be able to download the Freedom Crusaders Manifesto, which is right here, on Friday. And so they get to see the Freedom Crusaders Manifesto, and it's read on Fridays also in the call. The Think and Grow Rich version that we read, whatever the book is that's being read, we do cycle through several different ones, but this is the full copy of Think and Grow Rich that's here. So you can come in here, and when they read it, you can actually click right over here and go to the page number. So, oops, that swiped me off of the page. So you can see here today they read page 339. And if we go back over to the book, you can go right in here and go to page 339 and go right to the page and read along and get more value while he reads, and you can read as well. And then they'll talk about the book of the month. Here's a link over to the book of the month on Amazon, so you can buy it. This book, this month's book of the month is Word Weaving, The Science of Suggestion. And it is a tough one. If you're not a reader, like I know John's mentioned that he doesn't read a whole lot, this book is pretty challenging. So I know Paul mentioned another book at one time that was a little easier. I don't remember what it was.
I don't recall.
Because I think even Paul said this book is pretty challenging. So then there's an enemy of character, and they list out all the 26 enemies of character that are talked about throughout all of it. So you've got all of these here, and these are just to keep these things, try to keep them out of your thoughts. And then of course they show the phone number. I didn't think they showed the phone number here. They show the phone number and the access point here, and also or you can use this website, and that's how I usually do it, is call in through this website. I actually have the number right up here in my thing, so I can call in from that way. And I like to do it that way. That way I can listen on my computer. So you can go here, listen to the daily audio. I don't know if you can hear that right now. So you can listen to today's audio there. There's, like Christy said, she's the engineer, so she gets it going.
How's everybody doing today?
Good morning, Christian family. Elizabeth from Virginia. Good
All
morning,
right.
Elizabeth. Good morning.
Can't quite hear her in there. So she's in there saying good morning, getting the lights turned on, they call it, and getting everything started. She comments and introduces the caller every day. And so it's really exciting for her. She does a little quote and gets that ready every night before it goes live. So it's been a really cool thing for her and for us, because it's another thing, again, that we have as value in our business. But all you got to do is get on the call once in a while, and you can add value to your business that way as well. But you can give it away, and it's part of the value, free value you can give. Super easy. And then there's all this other stuff, right? Now, where does all this go? Well, there's the miracle that talks about Mike and Paul's journey, maybe just Paul's. Paul introduced and Mike's. Mike and Paul have been partners in this business now for, I guess, about 10 years total. HBA has been around for almost 7 years, if I recall correctly. And this tells some of their story. And then, of course, the Grow Rich audio, which is what we talked about here. And then the mastermind talks about how you can get more information. And this is part of the more in-depth funnel that I'll show here in a few minutes. And then the digital wealth formula. So the digital wealth formula actually brings you over to the all-in-one business. So it's another way to get involved in the HBA. And it's the $25 level to get you involved into the all-in-one business and the funnel builder. And like John was talking about the funnel builder, the website tool, and you get all the bonuses. And this is what we usually talk about, the over $5 million paid in commissions now, how you can make up to $74,000 a year, $150,000 a year, $224,000 a year, all the bonuses that are involved from here on down, the magical morning formula, algorithms for abundance, the affiliate domination course, the copyright and headline formula. So all of this comes for the $25 a month, including the funnel builder. Okay. And then when you get started here, you can also get a free 2 weeks to the premium traffic and conversions, which is what we were talking about too, about John getting on the masterminds in the morning, coming out and talking and using that as value in your business also. So you can get two free weeks here. These both pay 80% commissions into your business. So you make $20 a month for the $25 level, and you make $100 per month for the $125 level. And then if you don't like it, you get an email at like 3 days before it charges that says, hey, do you still love us? If you don't, please cancel. And you don't have to worry about that being charged. And so this is a really cool way to get an introduction. How do I get back? That's interesting. Maybe I go back from here. Okay. And then it talks a little bit about the Freedom Fest also, which is our live event that we do every November 11th. Christy and I go to the Freedom Fest, and we've spoke at 2 of them on stage. And you can see Christy right there in the little video telling about how it is and is it worth going. And of course, you can get your tickets, and all of the money that's raised outside of what the nonprofit event, what it costs, goes to Feed My Starving Children. So this last event, I believe it was like 19,000 meals, something like that went to Feed My Starving Children after the event was over. So it's really awesome the way that it's all set up. We do a day of training, and then we do a couple of days of hanging out. Sometimes there's side events. I know they went and did like some zip lining and some free falls and stuff like that. And we stayed, of course, in the hotel and did some puzzles and some drinking some water and some real fun stuff back at the hotel, having some ice cream sandwiches. And so you got the exercise crew and the non-exercise crew, right? So that's about it as far as the Grow Rich Audio's page itself, right? But then you also have the funnel version of it, where you can come through and you can use this as a way to collect emails. So you can use a capture page. This is built inside of your funnel builder, and then you can collect emails. And then when they do the call, they say, make sure to get back with whoever sent you here for the mastermind collection, right? So it's another touch back in here. And then the mastermind collection is what is after this funnel. So I'll put my name and email in here because I don't quite remember what the URL is for this. And then once you do that, this comes over here to another page. And then there's some more information here. Click here for instant access to the Grow Rich Mastermind collection. Get these exact pages. So this is another way to get people interested in the business. Click here to see this crazy profitable business. This one goes to just the funnel builder, and this one goes to the all-in-one business. So this one goes to just a sales page for the actual funnel builder version, only $25. So it's showing it just from a little different angle. And then this one goes to the all-in-one business, like we saw before. And so both products are the same. It just kind of represents it in a little different version. And then this, of course, goes over to the Grow Rich Audios, but it shows it with more things that you can't access normally. So you get all these different downloads, Acres of Diamonds, bonus materials, maybe a different version of the Freedom Crusaders Manifesto. No, but it's only up there actually on Fridays. So this is where you can download it if it's not Friday, and then the Never Give Up MP3 music download, just a lot of really great stuff if you're already in and then there's like the Game of Life and how to play it, the whole book. So there's a bunch of books here too that you can get as part of the downloads, and some more of the stuff. And then the Facebook group also is here. So you can become part of the Facebook group and get a little bit more involved. And these pages are all inside of the back office. Let me show that here somewhere. Let's see if we go over here to the Funnel Builder Academy in the affiliate zone. Under the Done For You funnels, there's a Grow Rich Mastermind funnel. And that is where you can get all the information needed to put this funnel together. It'll tell you how to get the pages. It'll tell you how to get your affiliate codes. Basically the same thing here. Here's your link, right? And you put your affiliate token on the end there. And that is part of it. Then you have some emails and some bonus resources. So you can use this in a whole lot of places. Okay. So I really like this way to present it. Like I said, I use this in my emails a lot because it's great value, especially for a Friday, a Saturday, even a Sunday email. You can still get it out and talk about some of the stuff that's in there and get value out of it. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share, see if I missed anything, and let's see what Christy thinks. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you did amazing. It is absolutely one of my most favorite ways to introduce people to our community, because our community is so loving. It's like a family that you don't even have, you know. I'm closer to the people within this community far more than I am with anybody outside of the community. And I'm with them every day. Like Jim said, we have Monday through Friday, we have our calls, and even on Saturday, they have a call. Monday nights, we have a call. So you don't have to attend all of them, but you can if you want to. And it's a great way to get support. If you ever need anything, it's a great way to have that extra little oomph in your business, because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we can feel so alone. And we might not have a supportive spouse, or we might not have any friends that push us. You know, you have to be careful about the friends that you keep, because not everybody wants to see you become successful. But the people in this community, that is their main point, and that is to help you become the best version of yourself. And I'm very proud to be a part of that community. And at Jim and I both, if there's ever anything that we can do to help anyone, we're here. And it's not a religious call by any means, but it is very spiritual. We do have a lot of I guess just spiritual high vibes. We really talk about everything that goes on inside of your mind in so many ways, and how that personal development and growth can really catapult your business in so many ways. So that's really about it. It's one of my favorite things in this business for sure. Yeah, back to you.
One of the things that I have noticed about the Think and Grow Rich path into HBA is people tend to stay around a really long time if they come in that way, you know. So it's really good for residual following, you know, just for people to be around. It doesn't necessarily I don't even necessarily mean the money side of it, but just to keep people around, to keep people, you know. To me, you know, the money's fine, you know, but I want to help people. I want to help people grow. I want to help people become better. I really want to help people learn that they can quit their jobs, that they can, you know, at least make enough extra money that they can work where they want to work instead of where they have to work, you know. So to me, if we could change some mindsets just to that, you know, I've said a lot of times that one of the guys I worked with at McDonald's, was one of the smartest guys I ever met. And he was so proud that he's been at McDonald's for 6 years. And I'm like, dude, you're so much better than this. That nothing wrong with McDonald's, but he could have done anything he wanted, but he was just stuck in that mentality of like, I'm here, and and because he'd never learned anything other than that. But brilliant as far as his brain was, but so weird. I don't know how else to describe it, but people get held down in their job mentality and just stay stuck. So anyways, anything else we want to talk about? We got a little longer if we
John, have you been on the morning calls very often? The 9
I've
o'clock call?
not yet called in. I think if I can do it from my computer like Jim does, I'd be more apt to do it. I think that was a great way. And I do want to add, being part of this community has been great for me. Just to be able to plug in and know I have support and questions. If I have questions, I don't sit on a phone and wait for an operator. I get up in the morning and at 11 o'clock, I'm on a Zoom and my question's answered right then and there. So that's the best part about it. And everybody's willing to help. Like I've never seen so many people willing to help. Like
it's pretty crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And a lot of people that really know how to help too, and in a lot of times that it's like, can you even find anyone that knows how to help?
Right.
So
and they're not just gonna give their secrets away. They're gonna charge you for it.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely an awesome community. And I love to help because of that, because I know well, I know that if I don't know how to put it. The couple of times I've asked for help, nobody's known how to help me. So I guess I can't really say.
You got some real problems. That's what you could say.
Yeah. That's the problem. It's usually when I need help, it's like, oh, who do I go to? I don't know who else I can ask, because it's kind of strange,
Peter's in the house. Hey, Peter.
Peter's in the house. Boy, am I excited. What's going on, Peter? We can't hear you. You're muted. I'm sure you're trying to talk. I saw that you got your link fixed after I pointed it out to you. Hopefully you're loading up okay. We'll wait for you and see. I did.
Hear him.
Hey, there you are.
Hear him. I apologize.
No problem. I saw that you got your space out of your link. I did see you still had all digits. You have an all digit token?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that some early people do have all digits. So, okay.
I've been here that long.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I can't tell you, Jim, how much that meant to me for you to make that correction and it just, I did respond to the post, and I'd like to make a video about it that, we just have so much support here. I've never witnessed, what we have, what you're doing right now.
There's no way I'd let anyone in HBA go with a broken link, it wouldn't happen. Wouldn't matter who it is. And there's no way, probably in general, if I noticed anyone in any business go with a broken link, now it wouldn't be as easy to notice. I just happened to see yours and was like, no, that's not right. But yeah,
get on the state of Michigan's website. It doesn't work so well. You get all these 404 forbidden numbers. It's crazy.
Right.
There's a lot of them out there with all 404 stuff. I was on one yesterday. I was like, how are you guys doing business? I can't do business with you people because their sites are all broke. It's so strange, and the problem with, yours, Pete, not the problem, but yours, of course, Peter, was working. So it's even worse. It didn't look broke. It just was broke.
Where would that have gone to?
It would have gone straight to HBA, and then it would have been orphaned, and it wouldn't have, unless they were on your list, they wouldn't have known who it was. So you would have got signups that couldn't be connected to you unless they
Mhm.
specifically said, "Hey, I signed up with Peter," and they do ask everyone, who did you
Yeah,
sign up with,
I can speak about that.
Yes.
but not everybody knows who they're signing up with, especially in that case where your group name is not your actual name. So,
Mhm.
sometimes people know, but sometimes people don't know. Now, if you've got people on your list, they'll check your email list and everything and see if they can make connections. So they do a lot of work to try and get people connected with you. But sometimes, a broken link like that is hard to get connected. And that's something I don't know if I've ever heard any company try to actually connect, you know,
I
sponsors
was
to
going to
their
comment to that. I've never seen that. If it goes in, it goes in,
right.
and you have to be aware of it and track it down. And usually, it takes an act of Congress to change it.
Yeah, that's, I,
Yeah. Well, and
We've all been there.
that's where they make a lot of their money is on the breakage is what they call that is
Mhm.
anybody that doesn't get sponsored goes right to the company or to the owner or whatever. So that's big money for most MLMs and stuff. So and it starts, like some companies with forced matrices and stuff, it starts new pyramids, and now it's a whole big deal, So, anyways, so what's going on? What's going on, Janine? See you here too. Coming in a little late, but that's okay.
Very late. I have to admit, we were napping on the sofa.
Hey, Christy was too before this, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was so close to 3 o'clock."
I was taking a nap.
It's funny. It's
I
funny.
wanted to say to Peter and Janine that we're talking about probably one of their favorite subjects, and that's the Grow Rich Mastermind.
Mm.
So if anybody has any quick comments or long comments that they want to say about their experience with the Grow Rich call, we'd love to hear.
I'm gonna get emotional. I can't tell you how much I say all the time I comment quite a bit on the call that I was in a depression. I don't really think I was clinically depressed, but I don't know what depression. I don't know what, and I was in a funk. I was going down fast and wandering, didn't have any direction or just, I don't know. I was in a funk, but and it brought me out of it. And it keeps me out of it. It just amazes me studying Think and Grow Rich and how many passages we read that was written. When was that written? In the 30s or the 40s?
36 or 39, yeah.
However long ago it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put that passage on the news today or something like that, and it's just so applicable. And I just love our principle-centered leadership. I believe I compare it to driving a stick shift on a car. That, when you start driving that car, you got to pay attention to the clutch and the brake, and you're thinking, when I shift and all this. And then after you've driven for a while, you're just flying around, you don't even think about it, you're unconscious. And that's the way I feel that when we study these principles and we get these principles in our heart and we're moving and somebody throws a question or most people call an objection, most of it's just questions or when we're dealing with daily life, we can make on the moment spur decisions. And I believe it's God. I mean, I'm a religious person, but whatever you think, the universe or whatever triggers you with the correct answer and triggers you with, and just magic just happens. And it's,
Yeah,
I don't know. I get so, I don't know. It's like the majority of the public doesn't understand it. And when you, like I say, I'm a religious person. I have a hard time with a lot of churches because they do not act like it. They do not act like they expect a miracle. They expect the answer. They think it's woe is me. I was doing maintenance at our church. I'm kind of rambling, and I had this job, and it was cool at first. I go to the church, Old Methodist Church. I was born in this church. I was born in 1959. I can fix anything. And I was fixing the boiler, I was fixing the old, and just everything around the church is just real old. It's architecture and it's just craftsmanship. It's just wonderful. And I was having time of my life for about 3 months. And then it became, I was showing up every morning and it was a job. And I finally said, nah, I can't handle this. It's too much routine, it's too much. And then every time something broke, it was like being on call 24/7. And so I put in my resignation. I had a lady actually approach me with tears and said, "Oh, Peter, what are we going to do? You can't leave us." The week before I was going to, 1 week after that resignation, a man walked in the door. He had my qualification. I learned electronics in the military, and I can fix anything. Like I say, I've worked in hardware and everything. But anyway,
Thank you for your service.
This guy walked in the door and he'd been in the military. He had all them qualifications. Plus he did heat and air. I can't fix AC when it comes to, putting in the Freon and all that stuff. He could do that stuff. And he was 10 years younger than I am. I mean, and they hired him on the spot. And I said, that's the way things work. I mean, if you believed in God, they shouldn't have worried. They should, well, Peter's quitting. God will send us somebody else. They did not say that. They said, oh, well, it's me, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I say about the HVA community or the Think and Grow Rich call. We study these principles and we know that we're on a divine mission. We're on a divine order, and it's all in divine order. And if we just believe and go with that, then things happen. But anyway, that's my rant or rebel.
I know.
Powerful stuff.
I love it. I love it.
I know exactly how you feel. And you talked about, depression a little bit in the beginning. And I've been very open about my suicidal thoughts. And I believe it's genetics. I've had 3 people in my family that have committed suicide or died by suicide. And that's something that I struggle with daily. And this call does keep me grounded. It keeps me here. And, I do think that my faith is what has kept me alive, because deep down, I do believe that it is a sin to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So that is, I believe, part of what keeps me, but that daily reminder that I have a community of people that love me and count on me. It's incredible. So I do know a little bit about how you feel in that specific situation. So thank you for being so vulnerable.
And along that line, I don't know that I was ever suicide, but it's like without it, it's like what's the use, or what's, without a dream, without a, the belief that, we can do more. And I don't know. I'm on that call with Angela Amazing. If you guys went through that at the retreat.
Yes.
And we do believe that and I think we're already, I can tell you this, Jesus said that, these things I do and you'll do greater, that we have the power of what God, gave us. And there again, the people in the church don't act like it to me. They act like, that it's all, I don't know, my dog is, sorry.
Well,
Anyway.
Janine, I know you've been on the call. You have any thoughts about the Grow Rich Mastermind?
I love it. And I'm very, very careful about who I turn on to it, because we're family. Yep.
Family, that's right.
Yeah. What I like about it too, though, is it's a good sorter of new family coming in, because it's not for everyone,
No.
it's got some things that are like, well, you guys are a little bit strange, but,
That won't be the first time somebody's told me that.
oh, no, so I do think that it's pretty okay to broadcast it. And that's because I share it with a lot of people, I share it with my list pretty frequently. I've probably had, I could look, but I probably had 1,800 or 2,000 clicks to it, so
Wow.
quite a few people I've offered it to. And so it's pretty powerful. And I do agree, it's family, but people have to be pretty similar minded in order to stick around very long,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I do like that about it, and that's like you're saying, Peter. We went to a I forget what it was called, but it's basically a Bible experience, and it's a theme park here in northern Florida. That's a religious Bible theme park, and it was really neat because everyone's like-minded. You really wouldn't be there if you couldn't get into that.
Was it called the Holy Land Experience?
The Holy Land Experience. That's what it was. And it was really neat because nobody was complaining. Nobody was upset about long lines or the food being overpriced. It was just such a interesting feeling because it was the same kind of thing. It felt like family, So I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're coming up on the hour, so I'm going to transition back over to the page with a quick recap and invite the people that may be here or may show up a little later. So let me share my screen again.
That hour
And
went quick.
That hour went quick, right? Okay, so here we are. This is the page again that you should be on. And again, if you're in our group or on our YouTube, there should be a link in the description to get here or in your email of whoever sent you here. And this is how you get involved. I did put a Grow Rich Mastermind button on the page. So if you want to get more information about Grow Rich Mastermind, this is how you can get there. If you want to jump right in and get the $25 all-in-one business, this is how you get to that. And I recommend, like I showed earlier, that you go ahead and take the 2-week free trial to the premium conversions, traffic and conversions by clicking this button right here. That will get you some great value over there and get you learning how to do YouTube, Facebook, short
form video.
short form videos, all of the stuff you need to get traffic to your website and learn how to grow your new business, right? And they will send you an email about 3 days before and say, if you don't love us, please cancel. We don't want you to be billed if you don't love what you're getting. So make sure to check that out. And if you are not using this page already, remember, scroll down here to the bottom, put in your token down here. Make sure you don't have any spaces, because if you do, it will break your page, right, Peter?
Yes.
And then click this button right here. You can get your page going and you can use this page, and we will do our best to make sales for you. And that's about all I have for today. Anybody else got any last words?
No,
All
thank
right.
you for sharing your story, though, Peter. That was good.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter.
And hi,
See, that's
Jenny.
why we like
Sorry
all
for
these.
showing up late again. I did
Hey,
this the last time. I'm right at the end, but I
You
did
went
watch.
45.
I did watch the whole replay, and it was cool just listening to. And I will encourage anybody. I'm on day 19. I haven't done it yet today, but I made a commitment at the first of the year that I was going to do a Facebook Live I'm doing Facebook right now. I have not figured out StreamYard. That's one of the top priorities. I want to get on StreamYard and broadcast it to the different platforms. But I can tell you it is priceless, priceless, priceless. Watching my first videos and all that, going back and watching yourself on video and seeing you, I'm bad about saying, well, and then whatever, or I don't know, just and all this. And you watch yourself and you catch that. And I swear every video I'm more comfortable. And I'm just so excited about it. But I encourage you, just click on that camera, click on that deal and just babble. That's what I'm doing. I started out with my intention. It's healthy, wealthy, and wise. I want to do health. I want to do the Grow Rich and the mastermind and all that. But I'm really just turning on the camera and just speaking my heart. And I'm not worried about a script. I'm not worried about a direction or marketing right now. I'm just making films, and it's powerful. And then you can listen to yourself. And that's what I did yesterday. I listened to this. I encourage you guys to go listen to this after you and what you said and how you said it.
Yep.
And I believe I'm getting better.
when I
Awesome
first
team.
met Ashley, we were into some kind of network marketing, something, and it wasn't really affiliated marketing, but we had to do a 30-day challenge, and they gave us a list to talk about. Books one day, just whatever. And that was when I first started talking on Facebook, and it was terrifying, but it was kind of cool.
Maybe you can steal that and share that with other people. That might be a valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
this,
true.
Come up with a list and
Mhm.
share it.
well,
With a list.
and I'm a believer too. You talk about making a list. If you throw your content out there on public, you will attract the people that's supposed to see it.
Yeah.
When you
Mhm.
speak a word, if somebody's supposed to hear it, God will send them to you, and
Oh.
they will hear your word.
I had a girl in our local town that stopped me. She said, "What are you doing on the internet?" She said, "My husband's 77 years old and I can't work anymore. He can't work anymore. I need to do what you're doing." And I gave her the information.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we will see you on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday we'll be live
Right.
again.
Happy Freedom Friday, everybody.
Happy Freedom
God bless
Friday.
you.
I love you.
Bye,
I'll
guys.
do that.
Love you
Love
guys.
you. Thank you.
Peter.
I just tried.
Bye-bye.